think the main word she dropped was, I want it to be easy. I want it to be easily easy. I want just to go in my kitchen and make it feel easy, put things away and just live in an organized environment. So in the next step, let's take a further look at the videos, at the kitchen, how it looked before, at her kitchen organization that she has right now. So I can guide you a bit through it, when I first walked in the kitchen, saw of what the main problems are. So now you get a sneak preview of the famous before and after videos. So now we open the first cupboard, and there you see it's the cupboard directly above the stove. So the stove is here, and we put the oils and everything in here. We still put them on a tray because oils sometimes can be messy, and like there's just a drop running down or something. But we put all her oils in here that she still has it close to the stove, so if she's cooking, she still has it, can reach it with one hand and just open the cupboard, take the oil, use it for cooking and then put it back. But she doesn't have to have it standing next to it, so the surface beyond there is clear, there's nothing standing around. So that's an easy solution that you can do. If you have a cupboard or a storage solution somewhere nearby, put the oils on top, that you don't have to have it standing on the surface, but still in an accessible way. And maybe also one other thing that you can see here is I organized it in rows regarding the different oil type, for example. And there's nothing behind it. So especially if you have a cupboard which is hanging on top. So these cupboards are always difficult because it's so hard to see in the back, and everything that is in the back is just hard to reach and hard to access. But what makes the system easy for you, if you have front lined up everything that you have so you can see it easily, you can have supplies behind it. So I think behind this olive oil there's another olive, oh no, this one here, you can see there's one sunflower oil, and behind there you see the small lid here, there's a replacement bottle for this sunflower oil, which you can put behind, because when you take this out, it's empty, you directly see, oh, I have another one. Also here you have the salt, and there you see a backup package of salt, so that if the first one is empty, she directly sees, oh, I have another one, or every time she takes it out, she sees, oh, I have another one, I don't need to buy one. And behind there's nothing else, so there's nothing else you can forget or which get pushed in the back. And this is something that I also would recommend for you. Don't push things in the back where you can't see them. If you can't see them, you forget them, and this organization system just doesn't work. Line up everything in the front that you have, even though you might feel like you're wasting the space in the back, but what is the space worth if there's anyhow just stuff which you're forgetting and which is rotting, right? So this is also something for regarding the third problem that she has about the accessibility. Put everything in front of the cupboards, so just directly at the front so you can easily reach them, nothing gets pushed in the back. In this cupboard you can easily see how we tackled problem 2 and 3 again, that we talked about having a designated space for everything and having everything accessible, reachable and functional. So everyone could name a category for each one of the shelves. The lower one is Tupperware, or Tupperware also in like to-go cups, and the upper one is glasses, and even here we have a cocktail mixer, which also kind of fits the glasses party category. So all of these things are together, so for her she knows if I open this cupboard, we put things, these things belong in there. The same with the Tupperware. So what was for her most difficult is that it was for her hard to access them with the lids on top and everything into each other. So what we did here is we just sorted them in 2 different categories, square ones and round ones, because then they're easier to stack on each other. So we stacked all the square ones, we stacked the round ones, and then we used one box that she actually had spare from her kitchen organization, and there we put the lids all stacked next to each other. And this is such a simple but great system, which you have seen also in a lot of other kitchen videos that I did, because we do it actually in every category, not just in the kitchen, but also in the bathroom. We stack things next to each other. So you don't have to scram through all the Tupperware and check, okay, where's the box, where's the fitting lid, and then just everything gets messy in there. You take out the Tupperware, you directly know what lid it is, perfect. And also one last tip that we introduced her, because she said, her party glass, like the wine glasses and beer glasses or whatever, she's not using that often, so she want to have it stored at a place that that is a bit further up, that she doesn't have to reach it all the time. So we chose this cupboard here for above the stove because there is this air ventilation machine on top, and then the Tupperware, which she has to have easily accessible because she's using it all the time, but the glass she doesn't need all the time, so they can be even a bit more up in the shelf. And this is also something for you to have in mind when you decide where to store everything, that items where you know you don't use them regularly, put them a bit more in the further far away place, and the things that you use a lot, put them somewhere where you can easily access and reach them. And there we have a third cupboard. You remember this was the cupboard with the mixed in teas and cups and bowls, and there were some serving plates. And now also every one of these cupboards of each shelf has a category. The lower one has a category tea and coffee. So we put all our teas and coffees in here. We put them in there so they're protected from flies and whatever, and stack them next to each other so that they are all easy visible. And you can see that there's still something behind these teas. And you're probably going to think like, Laura, you just said don't put anything behind there. Yes, but she said, and you're going to see it on the other side, that she want to have save some cups. She took her pretty cups out on the other side from them what she uses all the time, but sometimes when she has guests over or a lot of people over, she needs more cups, so she wants backup cups, but she's not using them all the time. So this is a great spot to put them because she's using them with coffee and tea, so they kind of belong in the same category, but she doesn't need them all the time, so they don't need to be on the other side, but so they can be stored in the back because she knows they're there. She knows also after they have been used where to put them again. And so it's kind of a fitting system and a good usage of this kind of lost space. But the tea, which she's using all the time, is in the front, easy accessible and reachable for her. The same with her vitamins. They're all here stacked up together. So there's nothing behind it, just the front here. So the space behind there is, in quotation marks, lost. But you can reach it all. She knows from the writing here on top, the way we stored it, what's in there, what she can use. And then on top here, again, a shelf which is hard for her to access just because it's really high. We have some like dinner plates, which she just pulls out as quotation mark her once a year or twice a year when she has like guests over and makes like a fancy dinner or whatever. So they don't need to be on the bottom here, easy accessible. They can be up there like the fancy cups on the other side. And there we have the last cupboard, which also is a total different from when you remember it before. And there you might wonder what categories are. I mean, you obviously see that we have some food supplies we put in there, but this actually has a super interesting category because these shelves have the category breakfast. So below here you see all the different ingredients she puts in her cereal every morning. That can look for every person really different, but these are, you remember some of them were standing in the container shelf behind next to the fridge, behind the curtain. Some of these things were here before, some of these things were in other cupboards, but it doesn't make sense to just store them because all the jars fit together. It makes sense to store them of how you use them together. So when you make your breakfast in the morning, you pull out your cereal bowl, and then you don't want to run to 5 different places to put all the different ingredients in. So here she has all her like seeds and quinoa and chia and whatever else she puts in there. So she has it all together here, and also she has an overview because especially some of these things were far in the back of the food storage shelf and almost got forgotten because she hasn't seen them. So there she sees them, she can eat it, or if she realizes she doesn't eat it, like give it away. And here also we used, I don't know if you see it, a small box for her towels, so she sees all the towels that she has, she can easily access them, put them back. So this also is a great system or a great example of how you see how we just put everything in the front, there's nothing in the back of these shelves, so everything that she has is directly easy accessible, visible, and if she takes out the peanut butter unit, she knows directly where to put it back, and no mess is standing there and nothing stays on the surface. Yeah, there's an overview of all 2 shelves together. And there you see it, right? Nothing is on the stove anymore. And like doesn't look this, makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to see this. There's nothing standing around anymore. Everything's on top. And here we see the shelf on the other side again. And also, as you might see, there has been some changes. So there has been like still the cups and the bowls and everything together. Also, as you might notice, I didn't mention it, but all the bowls have moved from the one cup over here because it doesn't make sense to have bowls in this place and in the other place. the mugs that she's using all the time, the glass that she's using all the time. And also here we introduced something really fun for her because she really loves to drink coffee and tea. So we have this whole cupboard for her, like coffee and tea area, that she has this like cups that she never used before because they were crammed away and she always forgot about them. Now she has them here visible, so next time she's doing a tea or having a friend over, she can use them. With her tea can and also her coffee she uses every day, and a French press, and also here with her espresso cup. So it's really like all these beautiful things that she has that make her happy, that she wants to see every day. They're all on top of here, and so she can see them. And then we also have the spices here, which have been there before. We just organize them just in a bit better way, but this just makes this cupboard way more clear and visible and accessible for her, but also like in the spark joy with it, really your favorite things in your kitchen, she can see all the time. And then the area under here we did a good on top video, so yeah, you can see it. The area under the sink. And so we used the boxes, but also as you see, we introduced way more boxes. So we took one box here, one box here, and one box here. And these are all no fancy boxes. There was not a single cent invested or not a single trip to the store to buy a fancy box or whatever. These are just all cut boxes from things that she had already that she was about to toss away. So all shoe boxes or supply boxes or whatever. I think one of these boxes is her. Yeah, there you can see it. It's from an old tea can where you don't need to keep the box. So we just like took off the lids and put things in there, and then we categorized it. So now in here are all her cleaning devices, also separated. This is kitchen cleaning, this is bathroom cleaning. 2 different rows. And as you remember, compared to the last one, it's not on top of each other anymore, just crammed in there and tossed in there. It's all stacked. So when she looks on top, she sees every single thing she has, so she can also use it. Then in here, there's her garden supplies, there's some fertilizer and some seeds next to it. So she has all her garden categories together. And these are all her sponges and wool to clean the surface. So everything that you can like toss easily in there. And then she has her laundry detergent. So all of these things just are broken up, they're stacked, so they are easy accessible, they are visible. I know I'm gonna repeat myself, but this is just the system behind it, and everything has its designated space. Whenever she takes one cleaning supply out, it goes directly back in this one spot after because the space is holding. It's held by the box, and it gives you just a way better feeling after. And then we can't forget her drawers. So, I mean, here in the front, not much has changed, as there are still her knives and her forks and spoons and her rubber bands, which were there already perfect together. But also you can see here, we categorized these things a little bit. So we took the chopsticks out, put them in a different drawer, and put all the bottle openers together, and put the garlic press, like some other tools in here, and also clips for closing bags all together. And also, let's be fair, I don't expect everyone to color code them and line them up every time. Also, at one point, it's totally okay if you just toss them in there. But the important thing is that she keeps this category together so that if she looks for her bag clippers, she knows they're there. So it's not about the color important, it was just a fun thing that I did. And then opening another drawer, which was on top of there, open fully, and pause here. And which is a great space to also store kitchen supplies. You know, like there's a drainer, there's whiskers, there are knives, there's spatulas, there are the whiskers for the whisker, and toothpicks, and like her chopsticks and bigger toothpicks. So all different things together, which are kind of kitchen supplies or cooking helpers for you. What we did here is, because this drawer didn't have any inlay, so if you just put everything in there, I promise you, when you close this drawer like 1 or 2 times, especially with some swing, everything's gonna be mixed up. So what we did here is, as you remember, there was this one knife box which was empty in her shelf. So we opened that, took the inside out, and used this huge knife box here as storage dividers. So also, always a recommendation of mine is, while you're organizing, keep the storage, or keep the boxes that you find. Even if you don't want to use them anymore, boxes are always great. Dividers, where to put things and how to organize things a bit more clearly. And again, we didn't invest a single cent in anything here. There's always something she can still do after, but it totally works and gives you a way better overview of where to put it. Everything is easy accessible and easy to see. So then we have this drawer where you remember all the Tupperware was scrammed them before. We changed that and we put her whisking bowls and her whiskers and her smoothie maker all together. So all these technical stuff and the fitting bowls are together in one drawer, which also is fitting from the category, and also you use it all the time together. So it also can be sometimes really unhandy if you have to put the whisker in this one and the bowl where you whisk things in another cup. So this is all together, and also it's way more accessible because these are things she's actually using a lot. And if this is really on top, the second shelf, it's hard for her to reach, so it's way easier to use it here in the second drawer. And then this one also, which I'm really proud of, is her pots and pans. So what you see here is that we sorted the pots into each other. With a small kitchen, there's sometimes no other solution than to do that. But we just used an old box, as you see here, where we just also cut off the top. And so we can store her lids also in a vertical way, that she now can just easily access each lid without touching the other ones or lifting them up and then putting also back after she uses it, which makes it easy for her. And again, I'm stressing this word because it's also what she wanted to have so much, is that you don't need to scramble through everything and see, okay, where are my lids, where's this, but you can just easily access it. And there we have it, her absolutely organized kitchen. You can take one more look here. There's nothing on the surface anymore except some small devices. Let's jump back here for a second, just to show you the top of the fridge. Here you see like nothing on the surface. There, top of the fridge, you remember all the egg things on top and all the different devices. We actually found out that one of the devices, the milk foamer she had, that doesn't even work anymore, so we donated it. And so now we just have the toaster here and the water heater, which are clean up, which are easy to use, easy to reach for her, and not anything else that also it's in a way hazardous. So it's a clean storage space. And everything else, you see clean surfaces, everything has a designated spot. Here also, as one last thing, I'm gonna jump back here for a second. Is there, you remember all the bottle deposit and a lot of the bags here, so we cleaned that up. We just kept a couple of bags, also because it's a reminder of you don't need 50 bags stored in a bag. Maybe you need a couple of like 4 or 5 bags, maximum 10, but not much more. So that's also what we did with her. We stored them all in this bag. All her other cleaning devices we hang here. And also her vacuum was already hanging here, that was perfect. So now the floor is clean. It also just gives you such an organized feeling if just nothing is standing on the floor. And then if we move up here, you can see that we stored all her food in there, but not just all her food in categories. So on the left side, you see all her carbs. So this is all her rice, which is then, this is all her lentils, and this is flours, and up here you see pasta. So what we did here is that, again, because you can just mainly see it from the surface, like from the top. So we have her different carbs, and always what is supply carbs we put behind it. So she has lentils in this one, and she has 3 different types of lentils, which we put them behind there. It's not perfect, but it's a really good way for her knowing, okay, what I have on lentils, it's going to be behind this row of lentils. What I have on rice, it's going to be behind this jar of rice. This was here also quinoa. What I have with quinoa, I'm going to have behind here. And what we did here is a small trick, is that we put a box in there, turn it the other way around so the bottom is up, and stack the pasta on top, because that kind of creates a little ladder for her to see what's behind there. So that reduces the problem that you just scram things in the bag and you can't see them anymore from everything that is standing in the first row. But if you put things on top, you still see, okay, this is all the pasta that I'm having. So here are all the different pasta types. The spaghetti we stacked up here because they're just easy to stand, but you can still see them. And then here we have all our canned goods, standing also behind each other. And on the really side, you see also the milk. So that in this way, she has her food drawer organized in a way that she knows exactly what is where and use it and eat it. Because also that was the main part, that she was really astonished by how much food she has saved in different corners of the apartment, of the kitchen, sorry. And then, as a last step, we hang some pictures that were just standing around the kitchen, which she always wanted to do. And they again have a beautiful overview of the clean surfaces that she has. And that's it. That was the miracle that happened in her kitchen. And just to sum it up again. So the biggest problem that she had was the chaos. She just felt chaotic and the kitchen just didn't feel easy for her. It was a problem for her to always put things away, and that's why things just cluttered and didn't get put away and the kitchen just got messier and messier. And the main problems that we identified for her kitchen were that there was just too much stuff, either intentionally placed on the surfaces or unintentionally placed on surfaces, but in sum up, too much stuff on the surfaces, not a designated space for every single item, and a storage way that was just not functional and easy and accessible for her. And we tackled these things with getting rid of everything which is on the surface, giving it a designated spot, and also in this respective categories, so things are logically together and make sense, and also not just logically but also in an aesthetic and beautiful way. And the third one is to have it accessible, to kind of think about where to put it, if I need to have it a lot handy, not a lot handy, if I need to access it, if I can stack things on top of each other, or instead of stacking things on top of each other, to put them next to each other to easily access them. And this should already, not just for her, but also for you, give you a really like a head start on organizing your kitchen. Oh, that was one client's kitchen. And what I want to encourage you is send me your videos. Send me a voice message, send me some videos, send me the problem areas that you have. It doesn't have to be in the kitchen, it can be anywhere in your home, in your apartment. It also can be digitally on your computer. It can be any messy area that you have in your life, physical or virtually. Send me a problem and send me the videos, and I can go through them and quickly explain to you what are the biggest problem areas and what you can do to tackle these problem areas in a similar system like we did this video, where I'm just going to throw you in a similar manner like in this video, where I'm going to guide you through what the problem of the person is, and then also going through the before pictures of how the situation is and what I see and where I see the main problem areas, and then also in a done way, like how I would tackle them, how I would organize them so you can get rid of these problems. So just send these videos, write a comment to me under this video if you don't know how to send these to me. Otherwise, just go to my website, send them to my email address, or contact me here on YouTube, contact me on Instagram. It doesn't matter how, just go over all the different channels, whatever suits you best to contact me. Send me those videos and I'm going to get in contact with you and tell you what I need to actually help you. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some helpful suggestions to organize your kitchen better and to get rid of the chaos of the three main problems that most people probably have in their kitchen. And if you like this video, just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or recommend this to other people where you might think they could need help with their kitchen. And until then, I wish you happy organizing.